So I just rolled out of bed and saw something that I definitely did not expect to happen. As a rap fan, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm pretty sure you know about the whole Kendrick and J. Cole back and forth. Kendrick dropped something a couple of weeks ago on Metro Boomin's project. J. Cole just responded a couple of days ago. And then last night he apologized. Obviously, there's going to be some mixed emotions about it, just like with anything in life. But before we dive into some of that and I give my own opinion, let's just watch the clip of him apologizing.
I put out this project on Friday called Might Delete Later. I don't know how many people done checked it out or whatever, but I put this project out. And I swear to God, I'm so proud of that project because I know, one, it's just a lead up. It's just an EP that leads me up to this thing that I've been working on for a long time. And I know the work it took to get to a certain type of skill level, and I love this shit. So that shit mean a lot to me, right? So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right? Because y'all heard some shit that happened 3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole? My niggas like, boy, I must have had 1,000 missed calls. Oh my fucking God. Text flooded, I couldn't even answer my shit. Nigga, it's wartime, boom, 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 right? Niggas wanna see blood. And I was conflicted because one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. I don't know if y'all can feel that, but the world want to see blood. So I say all of that to say, in my spirit of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I wanna say right here tonight is in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, like, goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God aligned me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love. And I pray that, y'all are like, forgive a nigga for like the misstep and then I can get back to my true path. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Past 2 days felt terrible.
I didn't see this coming. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys didn't either. I've been on the edge of my seat just waiting to see if Kendrick is going to respond because I felt like this would be the great battle of this era. You had Tupac and Biggie. You had Nas and Jay. You had the whole Eminem 50 Cent Ja Rule thing. You've had the Eminem Benzino thing, which kind of resparked recently. Like, there's been a lot of great battles throughout hip-hop, and I guess I wouldn't say the Eminem Benzino one is a great battle. It's more so a one-sided battle, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's been a lot of this competitiveness and just these back and forths in hip-hop, and I thought that this was going to be our chance to see the greats of this era, like, really go at it. And then the apology came out, and I'm not necessarily upset with it, but on Twitter, it's very back and forth. Like, you have some people saying he can no longer claim that he's the greatest rapper alive. And I think that that's kind of a wild statement. Shout out to Wade. He's an amazing content creator in the combat sports side of things. But I feel like that's a little bit out of pocket. Like, just because he decided to follow the way he feels inside, he can no longer claim that he's the greatest. And this is with me actually wishing that it still went down. Like, I wish he didn't apologize. I wish that he just saw it as competition. But at the same time, I get that it's not always friendly, right? Like I've watched battle rap for years, and although people shake their hand afterwards, some wild shit gets said to try to win a battle, especially when you have the pressure of thousands, if not millions of people telling you, hey, like he said this to you, you've got to get one up on him, which is exactly why he said that he ended up dropping his response to Kendrick in the first place, was that his boys were telling him, yo, you got to go in. The fans are telling him, you got to go in. And so he felt obligated to do it. And I know some people are going to say, well, he's a grown man. You don't have to do what other people say. But none of us really know what it's like to have almost millions of people tell you that you've got to do something. So I feel like it's a little bit different. Regardless, not everybody felt that way. Shout out to my man Dizzy 8, because he feels like this was actually a good message sent to the kids, that you don't have to have these back and forths. You don't have to have beef. And Dizzy himself is an amazing artist. If you don't know who he is, he's in the nerdcore scene. But outside of that, I feel like he's just great at what he does. Definitely check him out if you haven't. But it's just, I don't know. I can see both sides of it. Like the competitive side of me that's always loved battle rap, that's loved back and forth. Like I want to see it. Like I really want to see it. And now we know that it's never going to happen. Even if Kendrick decided to come back and drop a crazy diss track, J. Cole's like, listen, I'll just take it because I shouldn't have did what I did. And then we're just going to move forward from here. So we're never going to actually get that back and forth. And I feel like that's unfortunate. I mean, I'll take a track. If maybe they do an EP together and we can see who just raps better than the other one. Like, I'm cool with that, but I would have loved to see that back and forth and what they would have came up with. And you know what I'm saying? Like, apparently J. Cole is who introduced Kendrick to Dre. Like, he fought for Kendrick that one time when Diddy tried to get on Kendrick for something at some party like years ago. So there's a lot of history and a lot of things and personals that I feel like he could have used. But unfortunately, we're not going to see it. Now, I don't really agree with people saying like, yo, it's soft and this ruins hip hop and it set competitive hip hop back by years. And I don't necessarily think so. I think that we're just upset, right? Like that's all that it is at the end of the day. It didn't set anything back. It's just you feel some type of way because you were really looking forward to this. And I get it, because so was I. Like I really wanted this to happen. I was waiting to wake up one morning and just see the Twitter go crazy. Like, yo, Kendrick dropped the wild diss. You got to hear this, da-da-da-da. J. Cole better get in the studio. Like that feeling is just, as a fan, it's fun. And I get that we're not going to get that, but I don't feel like we should throw shade at this man. If he feels like his principles are being thrown to the side for him to have this back and forth because he feels obligated to do it, I just don't think that that's worth it, right? Like, I get it that we all kind of feel differently than that, but at the end of the day, it's his life. If he doesn't want to go down that path, if he feels like it could get more serious than just a back and forth, if he feels like him saying negative stuff is going to put him in a certain mental space, then I feel like he shouldn't do it. Like, I'm happier for him not to do it. But I do understand the side of the fans that want it to happen, that feel like, yo, this is crazy. Like, how are you going to back down? How are you going to apologize? But again, I don't think a lot of people realize or remember that this isn't the first time something like this happened. Now, it happened for different reasons, but back when Jay-Z and Nas went back and forth, Jay-Z apologized. He got on a radio station and he apologized for dropping Super Ugly. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's because his mom called him and said, yo, like, why are you saying all that? Now, I don't know if this had anything to do with the fact that she was worried it could become more serious. And she's like, I don't want something to happen to my son. Or she just felt like, hey, listen, like, why would you say that to a person? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so he got on and he apologized. And a lot of people feel like that took away from his diss, which, you know, obviously it did to an extent, but at least we got the back and forth first. So I think it's not talked about nearly as much. With this situation, we didn't get that back and forth. We got a couple warning shots, a couple more warning shots, and then he decided that that's it. Like, I'm just going to move on. I don't want to do this anymore. If he feels offended, he's free to take a shot, but I have no intention on responding to that shot. And so I don't know. Like I said, I have mixed emotions on it, but I just think that it's crazy to say he's soft, he's ruining hip hop, he set the competitive side of hip hop back. I think all of that just makes absolutely no sense. You're free to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to be a fan of him anymore because I really wanted to see that and I'm upset with him. That's fine. It's your choice. No one could force you to remain a fan of somebody. You could say that you don't like the fact that he did it, or you wouldn't have done that yourself, or any of that kind of stuff. But I feel like throwing shade at somebody, trying to throw disrespect at them because they didn't do what you want them to do, is a really goofy emotion. It's just, it's a weird way to kind of approach things. But again, I mean, who am I to tell you what to do? So I just saw that this morning when I rolled out of bed. So I literally just popped up, sat in my chair, thought I'd talk about it really quick. Curious what you guys think. I'll catch you in the next one, homies.